Havana Harbor shatters in a deafening roar as the USS Maine explodes in a fireball of twisted steel and 266. American sailors' screams, the night sky blooming orange like a false dawn over Cuba's churning waters on February 15th, 1898. But in New York, 3,000 miles away, a 34-year-old publishing prodigy named William Randolph Hearst, his eyes gleaming like a gambler's under the gaslight of his journal newsroom, slams his fist on a desk cluttered with galleys and gold-plated inkwells, barking to his editors, "Furnish the war." What if this wasn't just tragedy, but a manufactured madness? Hearst's splashy headlines, "Destruction of the warship Maine was the work of an enemy," fanning flames of fury that propelled the U.S. into the Spanish-American War, all to spike his penny paper sales from 100,000 to over 1 million copies a day? Lean in, because Hearst's empire wasn't born of noble ink. It was forged in profitable chaos, a yellow journalism juggernaut that twisted truth into treasure, from scandal sheets that toppled presidents to Hollywood dream factories, leaving a $200 million fortune, $2.3 billion today. That echoes in today's media barons like Murdoch and Musk, who peddle outrage for clicks. Can the thrill of the scoop ever outrun the stain of the lie? That Maine blast catapults Hearst into the eye of the storm, his New York Journal unleashing a torrent of fabricated fury. Anonymous eyewitness sketches of Spanish saboteurs planting bombs, doctored photos of the wreckage screening conspiracy, circulation exploding as readers devour the drama, each copy a 1-cent dagger in Joseph Pulitzer's rival world. The two titans locked in a blood feud that births yellow journalism, named for the garish yellow kid comic Hearst poaches from Pulitzer, in a bidding war so vicious it spawns twin versions of the strip, courts buzzing with copyright claws. Hearst, born April 29, 1863, in San Francisco's Gilded Crib to mining magnate George Hearst, a self-made senator who struck Comstock Lode Silver and Phoebe Apperson, a schoolteacher with steel in her spine, inherits not just $7 million, but a hunger for headlines. Harvard is hallowed halls ejecting him at 20 for pranks like gold-plated beer kegs and Mad Hatter's parties. His father's 1880 gift of the failing San Francisco Examiner, a playground he remakes at 23 into a sensational beast. Blending crime exposes with comic flair circulation, quadrupling to 77,000 in 2 years. Whispers of boy publisher, turning to awe as he jets east in 1895, snapping the moribund New York Journal for $180,000, slashing prices to a penny, flooding streets with hawkers chanting, "Extra." All the news that's fit to print. A jab at Pulitzer's pretensions. The rivalry ignites like dry tinder, Hearst rating Pulitzer's staff with fat salaries, his journal screaming scandals in 72-point banners, a girl murdered in cold blood, while Pulitzer counters with Hearst's Horror House, the air electric with ethical thunder, but profits pour like champagne. Journal hits 800,000 daily by 1897. Hearst's war chest swelling from ads hawked to patent medicines and Pear's soap, his newsroom's hives of 100 reporters churning human interest yarns laced with half-truths. From tenement horrors to society whispers, the yellow kid's impish grin on every Sunday supplement the siren call to immigrant masses. But the Cuban crisis cracks the facade-wide rebel uprisings in 1895, met with graphic dispatches of Spanish atrocities. Hearst's man Creelman cabling tales of virgins bayoneted that never happened. Readers' blood boiling as journal cartoons depict Uncle Sam thrashing the Spanish bull. Circulation wars slashing prices to half a cent. Pulitzer matching blow for blow. The term, yellow, flung like mud from the kid's Sunday hue. Ethical guardians howling journalistic prostitution, yet the public laps it up. Papers as addictive as opium dens. Hearst's ambition a wildfire. By 1898, 18 dailies under his banner, from Chicago to Los Angeles, his father's silver veins funding the frenzy. George dying in 1891, leaving $17 million. Phoebe's letters pleading restraint ignored in the rush for relevance. War erupts April 25, 1898. The journal's War, inked months before. Hearst dispatching 63 reporters to Cuba, more than the U.S. Army's embeds. His dispatches a fever dream of heroism and horror. From Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders charging San Juan Hill, embellished with phantom bayonet charges, to fabricated atrocities like Cuban babies skewered on Spanish lances. The Maine's enemy verdict pure speculation, fueling McKinley's declaration. 28,000 Americans dead or wounded in 113 days. But Hearst's empire booms, circulation tripling to 3 million. Ads from war profiteers like Remington Arms gushing $1 million yearly. The post-war glow dimming as critics brand it jingo journalism. Mark Twain snarling, the father of yellow journalism. Yet Hearst rides the wave, snatching the San Francisco Call in 1899, plunging into politics with a 1904 congressional bid, crushed by Tammany Hall smears. He once wielded his 1906 New York mayoral run torpedoed by same. Heartbreak hardening him, but the media machine churns on. Cosmopolitan magazine, acquired 1905. A literary salon turned scandal sheet serializing Upton Sinclair's The Jungle. Harper's Bazaar in 1915, a fashion fortress. By 1918, 28 dailies, 13 magazines, 2 film companies. His newsreels flickering in Nickelodeons, with staged battles that blur fact and fiction. The public enthralled, circulation 20 million weekly. Wealth cresting $200 million, but cracks spider. 1920s labor wars with striking printers met with scab hires and injunctions, echoing the mills he romanticized. Hollywood beckons like a siren screen. Hearst plunging $7 million into Cosmopolitan Productions in 1920. Churning Silence, starring Marion Davies, his 16-year mistress plucked from chorus lines at 19. Their affair a tabloid tempest he quells with whitewashes in his own sheets. Davies flops like Show People, 1928, propped by his cash infusions, but triumphs like The Patsy, 1928, netting millions. His international newsreel service feeding Fox and MGM with footage he censors to suit. The 1929 crash, clipping Wing's debts $126 million by 1937 forcing. Fire sales of the Examiner and Chicago Herald-Examiner, yet he rebounds with radio stations WHN and wins. His voice booming editorials against FDR's New Deal has socialist poison. The 1930s, a witch hunt of Hollywood Reds he fuels with smears. Citizen Kane, 1941. A dagger from Orson Welles caricaturing him as Charles Foster Kane. The premiere a war Hearst boycotts, his papers thundering Welles' folly. But the sting lingers, his empire shrinking to 9 dailies by 1940. World War II a last hurrah, with pro-isolationist rants flipping to Allied cheers. Davies nursing him through strokes, their Skybo Castle idols of fragile peace. Death claiming him August 14, 1951, at 88 in Beverly Hills. Fortune $200 million halved by taxes, buried in Cypress Lawn amid oaks. His will a blueprint for endurance. Hearst Corporation reborn under son William Jr., thriving today with ECCN, A&E, $11 billion revenue, 20 million subscribers. Yet the chaos profits persist. Hearst's yellow blueprint, blueprinted modern moguls. Rupert Murdoch's Fox News empire, Earth 1996, peddles partisan fire with 1898 echoes. Fair and balanced. A wink as hosts like Hannity hurl headlines that sway elections. Circulation 4 million viewers nightly. $14 billion Fox Corp value. Parallels in profit from polarity. Jeff Bezos' 2013 Washington Post buy. A $250 million bet on influence. Algorithmic outrage boosting subs to 3 million. Echoes of Hearst's main manipulation in clickbait wars. Elon Musk's 2022 X takeover, a $44 billion gamble on free speech. Blue check chaos amplifying conspiracies like 1898's Maine myths. 500 million users, an echo chamber of ads and anarchy. Trump's Truth Social, a 2021 launch mirroring Hearst's political plunges, 5 million users devouring unfiltered fury for $10 million revenue, each a heir to the chaos coin. Hearst's ghost grins from San Simeon, that $10 million Spanish fantasy castle on 250,000 acres, wine cellars stocked for 100,000 bottles, zebras roaming hills till the 1970s, now a state park drawing 700,000 pilgrims yearly. His paper's DNA in today's feeds were trysts for treasure. Ethical reckonings and #MeToo exposures of Hollywood enablers like Weinstein, parallels to Davies' silenced scandals, the mogul's mantra, news is what we make it, a siren song still seducing screens. Hearst's whirlwind from Harvard hijinks to Hollywood. Hayes unspools media's mad alchemy. Yellow ink birthing billionaire blueprints. Chaos the currency of kings. An empire that outlived its emperor, whispering to Murdoch and Musk. Power prints no regrets. If this saga of scandals and screens seizes your curiosity, subscribe to chase more mogul mysteries with me. We're scripting history's hidden reels together. Next, the vein-veined visionaries of the Rockies. Meyer Guggenheim's immigrant grit unearthing copper barons of the West, from Swiss peddler to global metals mastery, diversifying into arts that paint over the pickaxe scars. What chaos would you chase in your crown? Spill it in the comments, and we'll headline it next.